I didn't do fucking shit.
I know. I play that soundbite a lot. I love that soundbite. But there's a good reason for it because I have some amazing audio that's going to come up later in the show that you're going to be like, dude, what the fuck? What? He didn't do anything. We're going to get into that. I can't wait. Deion, I get it, but stop. We'll get into that a little bit later. Hope you guys are having a great day. What's up? I'm a little jarred this morning. My wife's out of town. I feel like that she keeps me in line. And then, I'm like, what's going on? No, I'm good. I'm good actually. I'm surprised. I'm very proud that the household is running smooth with my wife out of town. The house is clean. The kids are staying on task. It's good. It's good. Made some fantastic spaghetti with sausage meatballs last night. Oh, that's the way to go. With sausage instead of like beef. Oh, that is so much better. So much more delicious. Anyway, a lot to get into. Cannot freaking wait. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Remember, today's show is presented to you by Bet Online. In fact, Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. In fact, Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. And if you think you know your stuff, get in on Bet Online's $200,000 mega contest. And all you got to do is pick 5 games against the spread every single week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. Now, when the games are over, head on over to their online casino, get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or even unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Go to betonline.ag today to get in on the action. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. It does. It does. Real quick, going back to the fact that my wife's not here. The kids are at school. It's just me. I got a cat and a dog too. I'm debating. Do I just, for old time's sake, back in the day when I used to have my own apartment, do I just walk around the house naked? Is that acceptable to do? Nobody's here. As long as I make sure all the windows are closed. I don't want to damage any of the neighbors or excite them, if you know what I mean. No. Should I? I feel like I should, just to, you know, relive the old days. Because I used to do that when I was, single, had my own apartment. I was like, why not? Why not? I'm gonna walk and go make a grilled cheese sandwich, and I'm completely naked. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as that grease don't splatter, then you got a burnt up wee wee. Oh yeah. Hey, you know what we need to do right now? Let's stop talking about me being naked. That does not do well for your mental health. Let's jump into the headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
We were just talking about food. We were. And as I'm recording this, today is National Cheeseburger Day, which is good. I love cheeseburgers. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting here I made a tweet about the best burgers out there, the cheeseburgers out there that you can get at a restaurant. Because everybody's going to say, oh, mine are the best. I make the best cheeseburgers. Fuck, man. Nobody's paying to eat your burgers. Okay? But if you're a restaurant owner, sure, that's fine. I get it. But if you had to go to anywhere on the planet that makes the best burgers that you've ever consumed, where is it? They're not a sponsor anymore. Maybe they will be in the future again, but Sugar Fire has one of the best burgers ever. And they use like some, I don't know what they use. They use amazing meat in there. It was really freaking good. But if you're going for something quick, I really like Good Times. That's a Colorado burger joint, and that they're really good. They're not over the top, somewhat simple, but you also get the side of fries. The fries are really kind of the cherry on top, and you get the wild dip sauce with it. Oh my God, it's delicious. So freaking good. But also there's Bad Daddy's. Bad Daddy's, that's more of a sit down. For if you're going quick though, I would have to say either Good Times or Wendy's. I feel like those are really good. And I think today, at least McDonald's is doing like 50-cent cheeseburgers for National Cheeseburger Day. That's something you can check out if you want to eat that. Um, but yeah, it's always nice to sit there and go, okay, who does have the best burgers? And maybe we'll revisit this and have. I would like to actually go. I'd like to go taste every restaurant out there's burger because some of them are good. You just get blindsided by this great burger out of the blue. And I just hate when somebody puts too much on a burger. There's times where you see it a lot on social media. One, you get those ones that are like they're as big as a what are those sewer manhole cover, right? They're like gigantic. They're that big and in the like 2 feet tall or whatever it is. It's disgusting. Nobody should be able to eat that. And honestly, I'd be curious to know if that actually tastes good. I don't. I have zero interest in partaking in that. I also don't like it when you see a cheeseburger that has way too many uh, toppings on it. You're like, It's got ribs on there. It's got cheese. It's got pickles. Tomatoes. All the basic stuff. Bacon in a ham sandwich is in the middle of it. You're like, dude, no, stop. And then, the one real quick before we get into the real reason I'm bringing this up, this one drives me fucking batshit crazy. When you see this on social media, it makes me want to hit something, right? Makes me want to put a hole through the wall. Maybe I have anger issues. I don't know. But when I see somebody make a beautiful burger, a beautiful cheeseburger, it's like, oh, it's good. Maybe it's got some lettuce, maybe it's got some tomato, maybe a couple patties, some cheese, pickles, whatever. And you're like, wow, that looks good. Then they're like, no, 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 it is not done. And then they pour liquid cheese all over top of it. I'm like, fuck you. You just ruined it. I hate that. It drives me nuts. Don't do that. Who wants to fucking eat a burger with a fork? Because I ain't touching that with my hands. I don't want messy hands. That's a thing of mine. Don't like it. Don't like it. The reason I bring up the cheeseburger, one, it's National Cheeseburger Day, but two, Taco Bell announced that the National Taco Day is now going to line up with Taco Tuesday going forward. So I believe this year, National Taco Day will be on October 1st, which is a Taco Tuesday. That makes sense. If you're just going to make up holidays, well, why not? You can move it around all you want. Aren't all holidays basically made up anyway? But if you're going to celebrate the taco, might as well make it line up with Taco Tuesday. How cool is that? Good for them. And there better be some good fucking deals for Taco Tuesday on National Taco Day, right? 10-cent tacos. That would be freaking phenomenal. Listen, Taco Bell. I know it sounds outrageous, 10-cent tacos, but you should do it. Sell out. Sell out. That would be great. Be great for the farm industry too. All that corn. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm an idea guy. Okay, 10-cent tacos. Make it happen, Taco Bell. Mr. Beast, the YouTube just juggernaut, is being sued by multiple contestants. He does those Beast Challenge things, whatever. My son watches them. They're kind of stupid, but he seems like overall that he's a nice guy, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's taken a blind eye. The only reason I say that is Mr. Beast and Amazon are being sued after being accused of the following: failed to pay minimum wages and overtime, failed to prevent sexual harassment. That's kind of a big deal. Participants weren't provided uninterrupted meal breaks and rest breaks. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal too. That's where, like, I always remember this from the radio industry, is anytime we did events, the lawyers would have to go over the rules when it was involving listeners if there's listener interaction. I remember doing we were going to do a wing eating contest with listeners, but they're like, no, there's too much liability in there. If somebody chokes, somebody has an allergic reaction, blah 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 blah, whatever. We're not going to do it. There's just too much liability. So there's a lot of reasons why companies have kind of stopped doing that. You have people. There's that lady. I want to say in California, the contest was it ended up evolving to see how much water you could drink without going to the bathroom, and you would win like an Xbox or a car or something like that. I'm getting that wrong, but the idea was they were doing this and they were doing kind of live check-ins on the radio station, and there was nurses and doctors calling in saying, hey, 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 this isn't safe, this isn't healthy, you can die from water poisoning. And the radio station, including the jocks, were just like, ha ha ha, you idiot, you can't do that. I'm a radio host, I know everything. You're just a doctor, you're just a nurse. Bleh. The lady ends up dying from water toxicity or whatever the fuck it is, water poisoning. So there's a lot of liability in there. So when Mr. Beast and all these YouTubers are getting listeners involved, you're playing with fire, because there's always going to be elements that blindside you of, oh shit, we didn't think about that, or whatever. So it's I wouldn't doubt if Mr. Beast and Amazon, with these individuals, I don't know how many people it is, I wouldn't doubt if they just settle out of court, right? That's the easy way to make this go away. That's what's going to happen. If they drag this out, then there's going to be a lot more things exposed, and it's probably a lot more bad publicity than Mr. Beast would want. And I think the smart choice for him, if they can get away with it, is settle out of court. Because otherwise, it's painting a bad picture. Painting a bad picture. And here's the thing, like with the uninterrupted meal breaks and rest breaks, that's just jobs. That's normal jobs. And I'm surprised the amount of people that don't understand that are in charge. I ran into that a few times in radio. They're like, you don't get a lunch break. Like, yeah, you do. You do get lunch breaks. And you can't get mad at somebody, this happened a few times, for individuals using the restroom. You can't get mad at that. That's their right. So it's not just these inexperienced YouTubers. It's people that are in charge of big companies that have no fucking clue. I shouldn't say they were in charge of big companies. They were in charge of a radio station. They weren't in charge of all the radio stations. They were program directors that had no idea how to manage people. So that's not surprising. It's not surprising about the sexual harassment, because, guys are fucking stupid. Let's be honest. Most of the time, if sexual harassment's involved, most of the time, it's going to be a guy sexually harassing somebody else, right? And that's not surprising. When you look at the videos, it's dominated by males who are very immature, who haven't had real jobs. They've been YouTubers. They've never been in a real work environment. So to see these allegations, it's not surprising. Not surprising. Just a big listen. If people can go after Mr. Beast, they can go after you. If you're a smaller, most people are going to be a smaller YouTube channel or whatever type channel out there, that if you're smaller than Mr. Beast and you're trying to do stuff and you're trying to interact with your listeners and viewers, be careful. This should be an eye opener for you. Things that will piss you off. I was just searching through, because we're here in a little bit, we're going to go through some rapid fire, because I have so many different things I want to get into. But things that will piss you off that I stumbled upon. Did you know, without insurance, Ozempic, that what is it? It's for type 2 diabetes and weight loss. A lot of people, all the rich fuckers are going out there buying it for weight loss. But meanwhile, it's actually designed originally for people that have type 2 diabetes. And with the weight loss, it could be for people that are in dire need of a dramatic change. But anyway, Ozempic can cost US patients on average of $1,200 a month. In contrast, though, a month's supply of the exact same drug in Germany, guess how much it costs? US, $1,200. In Germany, $59. What the shit, man? That company has made billions of dollars on Americans. Guess how much it costs to manufacture Ozempic? A month's supply of it. This is so stupid. $5. Are you fucking serious? So I know a lot of people don't like it when the government gets involved, but that's one of the many drugs that they're attacking the manufacturers and say this is ridiculous. You're price gouging people in need. So hopefully that gets fixed, and that is just another reason. Again, uh, I'm on this platform to give you, I'm uncensored truth as much as I can. A good thing to use. A lot of times I don't run our prescriptions through the insurance company anymore. I just use GoodRx. They're not a sponsor, but I've used them. I remember back in the day when I worked at the radio station when GoodRx was first coming out, Mike Evans, one of the hosts for the morning show, was doing endorsements for them. And he's like, this is actually pretty cool. And at the time, I wasn't in need of price reduction of prescriptions. But now with kids and whatever, there's times where you get the order called in by the doctor and they're like, well, it's going to be for a month's supply. It's like $100 or $200. You're like, holy shit. So the last few times I've been into the pharmacy, they'll be like, okay, your total for the month supply of medicine was like, say, $76, right? And I'm like, can you do me a favor? Can you run that through GoodRx? And the pharmacist is like, yes, absolutely. And instead of, so it bypasses your insurance, it doesn't go through insurance. It's a separate entity. And they typed it in, kid you not, it was $30. I know it's still a decent amount of money, but it's a lot fucking better than 76. So just something, if you've never tried it, you can just go in there and ask them, be like, hey, can you run that through GoodRx for me and see what it costs? Sometimes I want to say most of the time it's going to reduce the cost. So it's worth checking out. Anyway, sorry. That's like a free fucking plug for GoodRx. You're welcome, GoodRx. And thank you, GoodRx. Holy shit. It's fucking bizarre. That the whole medication, prescription drug industry is so fucking dirty. It drives me nuts. And that's just looking at the Ozempic thing, $1,200 a month. Germany, it's $59. It only costs them $5 to make. Those are fucked up numbers. Fucked up numbers. That's the world we live in, huh? Oh, you need this medicine to live? You're barely scraping by? I'm going to make you pay $1,200 a month. Money, 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 money. You're like fucking Mr. Krabs. Money, 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 money. SpongeBob or yar SpongeBob. Money, 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 money. There we go. That's wild. Sorry, I don't need to get on a soapbox anymore with that stuff. That stuff drives me nuts. Hey, one of the great things I get to do is work with small businesses. I've been talking to a lot of them lately. A lot of people rolling around the idea of advertising on this this podcast because I'm giving great deals right now. I'm giving, half off rates because small business deserves that. I know it's hard. It's hard out there for a small business. I'm a small business. A lot of people forget that. I'm DeHuff Studios LLC. That's my thing. And it's hard out there. And what I'm doing is I'm slashing my rates half off. And from now until October 31st, 2024, if you and your business commit to a 2-month trial, you could be a proud sponsor of the #1 comedy podcast in the state of Colorado. It's only going to cost you half. That's it. Right? I know it sounds crazy. I'm going nuts over here. I'm slashing prices over here, slashing prices over there. I know. I'm a car salesman, apparently. But if you shoot me an email to huffpodcast@gmail.com, I'll send you more details. And then you can roll around the idea. Is that something that you're looking for? It's the end of the year. I know budgets are small. Okay. That's why I'm doing it. And you still want to get the word out about your amazing company. So your message from your company is going to be projected to the world via all podcast audio platforms, plus video on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course Twitch. And I'm just crushing it on Twitter, and Facebook's coming up. I need to get YouTube up. So if you're, following, follow YouTube too. But anyway, like it's insane. I'll send you the numbers of what you're getting on a monthly basis. It's freaking nuts. But with over 20 years in Denver media, I'm not just another podcast. I'm not like Hawk Tui that is just like, I talked about, slobbering on a knob, and now they're going to go, hey, do a show. And then 5 months later, she's going to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I get advertising budgets can be slim. Sorry. Sorry. I get it. That's why I'm cutting you and your company a break. Half off sponsorship rates if you commit to a 2-month trial by October 31st, 2024. Shoot me an email, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. And you know what? Let's get things rolling. Speaking of rolling, let's do this. I have so many things on this list. I just figure the best time to do it is right now. Let's jump into some rapid fire.
Why does it hurt when I pee?
It's rapid fire.
Say hello to my little friend.
You ready?
Oh, wait. So we're just gonna wing it?
There's a big difference between winging it and seeing what happens. Now let's see what happens.
All right. Sorry. I have this little stuffed monkey, and I was pretending to lick its head. That's only for the people that watch. And I was like, oh, shit. Gotta do the job. Yeah, let me pull up my britches. Yeah. This is insane, but I don't even know why it's on, why that somebody even bothered to do this. But that's why we're in rapid fire. Porn traffic plummeted during the presidential debate the other day. And apparently a bunch of the battleground states saw the biggest drop. Okay, well, I guess that means that everybody's jacking it to the presidential debate. I don't know. People are weird, okay? Or did they go, you know what? Let me put down the cigarette and the lotion for once, and let's dive into some politics. Maybe that's what happened. A 38-pound rescue cat named Crumbs got stuck in a shoe rack while trying to escape from fat camp. That's funny. That is funny. 38 pounds. Holy fuck. Whoever got that cat that fat needs to be locked up. That's jacked up. That's where I was talking to somebody. I was donating blood the other day, and this lady, one of the ladies that I was talking to, starts talking about how her mom is overfeeding her cat and stuff like that. Cats will fucking eat like almost nonstop. It's bad, and so it's on the owner if your cat gets obese. We had a cat that was obese, and I realized, oh shit, because I was giving the kids responsibility. Listen, it's the kids' fault. I was like feeding them. I showed them how much to feed them, but they were feeding them extra. Dude got fat. Okay. 38-pound cat though is pretty fucked up. And the fact that he got stuck in a shoe rack it shouldn't be funny, but it is. I'm sorry. A gym in Australia made a controversial rule to ban members from filming themselves, and now it has sparked a global crackdown. And I completely agree with this. I don't go work out at a gym. It's been a while since I've done so. But here's the thing. I see it all the time on social media. It's nonsense. I don't know how you guys stand it. If you're trying to work out, trying to stay focused on what your goals are for the day, for your exercises, and then you have some dipshit, quote unquote, influencer over there going, hey guys, I'm going to do my squats right now. Remember, when you're going down like that, pretend you're sitting on a cock. Okay, there you go. Now stand up, right? I'm sure that's how it works, but that's really frustrating, really distracting. And this gym owner in Australia was just saying that all of a sudden he looks up and it's just like a complete circus in his gym, and he had to stop it. And some people were pissed off. But I think if you're serious about working out, that you should be all for this. Nobody needs to see you working out. If you want people to see you work out and you're a workout influencer, build a gym in your house. Okay? That's really all I could say. Or open your own gym. And that's what it can be. But otherwise, I think the majority of people out there really don't give a fuck to see you, get all pissed off because you accidentally walked in their shot as they're showing you how to do bicep curls. Right? No. That's annoying. And I'm glad that he cracked down on it, because somebody had to. And the fact that it's spreading like wildfire, they're like, okay, you know what? Stop. No. The only people that should be filming inside a gym are the gym owners to help promote their gym. That's it. Not Joe Schmo who's like, hey guys, if you want to know how I lost all this weight, subscribe to my YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. It's like, good for you. You're losing weight, but don't distract other people from working out. And it's such a narcissistic thing to do. Like, the world revolves around me. Guys, look at me. I'm so fucking important, right? Hey, everybody, you want to see what I do? I'm working out and I'm filming it. People are going to be watching me on YouTube and whatnot, right? It's fucking annoying. I'm glad he did that. Apple users are starting to complain that their iOS 18 is killing their iPhone batteries. And then it says, what to do if you're affected? How about this? Buy an Android. Buy a Samsung. They're better. Do you know more people in the United States own Android or Samsungs than iOS? It's starting to turn. But here's what's annoying is some apps, not all apps, but some app manufacturers haven't caught on to that logic, and they're not, FitDoc, they're not updating their apps, but they do update their iPhone apps. So it's fucking annoying. But listen, there's a good reason why everybody's moving over, because Samsung is all about it, man. Half the shit that iPhone comes out with be like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but when you take a picture, if you touch this, and this, it does this. And iPhone users are like, oh my God, that's so revolutionary. Ah! And everybody that has an Android or a Samsung, whatever, they're like, we've had that for like 10 years. What the fuck? Oh, I just knocked over my water. I just did. Thankfully, there's a lid on it, huh? Anyway, all the iPhone users are like, blah! Fuck you. We are superior. Sure you are, buddy. Sure you are. Little rascal. Now get out of here, you little scamp. This is wild, but I kind of respect it. But ultimately, it's very bad. An 8-year-old girl in Ohio drove an SUV all by herself to Target and went shopping. Very dangerous, scary, not only dangerous for her, but for other drivers. She's fucking 8 years old. But, okay, this is where people get mad at me. It's kind of fucking impressive. Is it not? I mean, I'd be furious if my kids did that. Shit, they're 9 and 11. I'd still be pissed. But it is pretty fucking impressive. But it's very dangerous. And how the fuck did she have the comprehension to navigate the vehicle? Tells me that the parents showed her how. And part of me is just like, if you live in the country, that's one thing. But still 8 years old, dude. Come on. How the fuck did she reach the pedals? How the hell did she see over the steering wheel? It's pretty fucking impressive. I didn't read anywhere where she damaged any property. That's impressive. She's 8. Bitch needed some new makeup. I'm just saying, shit, man. I need some makeup. I need some, Totino's pizzas. And you know what else? I need to get a card for Grandma. Let's go. Wow. Impressive, but moronic. This is troubling. A substitute teacher was arrested for masturbating in classroom during the lunch break. We were on a break! Don't do that in the classroom. Go to the bathroom. I know the bathrooms at a school, faculty, office area are meant for crying. Yes, and defecating. But go in there and crank one out. Don't do it in the freaking classroom. He's like cranking one out during lunch break, and 2 students walked in on him. They're like, "Hey, Mr. Johnson, we need to..." Oh my God! That's terrifying. Those kids are going to be fucked up the rest of their lives. You know that, right? Sir, you did that. They're going to be scared to go into any room, right? Any room. It's like going into a Jamba Juice. Could you imagine going into a Jamba Juice? Like, I really need a smoothie. Oh, look, they're dead. Nobody's in there. I'll go in there. Ding. And then all of a sudden you go in there and be like, "Hi, I'd like to..." Oh my God, the guy's jacking off into, a blender. You don't need to see that. You're going to be damaged the rest of your life. Listen, real quick, side note, Jamba Juice has never done that I'm aware of. So they still make amazing smoothies. Sorry, I put that damaging image in your head. I don't know why I said Jamba Juice. I should have just said a smoothie place. Jamba Juice is good. Actually, it's really good. I used to work there for a couple of years after I worked at Safeway. And that was actually the most fun, with the exception of the radio station. That was the most fun job I ever had. It was just great group of, we're all like 18, 19, early 20s working there. Was I even 20? I think I was like 18. I worked there for like 2 years, 18 and 19, and then I moved on. Pretty crazy to think about. And it was just fun. It's an easy job. And anybody that says it's hard, they suck at it, because all the recipes are all around, and it's like, "Oh, you want a Caribbean passion? Sure, let's put this, press the button for this size Caribbean passion," and it puts in the right amount of passion fruit juice. Then you go and you put, what is it? the orange sherbet in there. It's like 2 scoops. Then you put in, I believe it's put in like 1 scoop of peaches, maybe 2 scoops of strawberries, something like that. I don't think there's bananas in that one. And then you do a scoop of ice and you put it on the blender, and the blender does the thing. It's like all programmed to, and then it gets the Jamba swirl in there. Then you boom, then you put it up, and then you give it a little love tap. You got to hold it strong. Got to hold it strong. The blender. Then you give it a love tap on the sides. You know why you do that? So it doesn't all clump all out in once. So the impact actually makes the river, the flow of the smoothie smaller, and it goes into your cup with ease. There you go. I could still go to fucking Jamba Juice and run circles around motherfuckers. I'm pretty fucking confident of that. If you run a Jamba Juice or a smoothie house, let me know. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. I want to go in there. I want to see if I still got it. Am I just talking shit, or can I back my shit up? Can I? I think I can. I can still go at Subway and dominate Subway too. Subway's pretty fucking simple. Quiznos, yes. The hard part about working at Quiznos is you have the element of the oven. And the busier you are at Quiznos, the slower the oven has to go, because the more sandwiches that are in the oven, the more moisture there is in the oven, and that actually prevents it basically lowers the heat, so you don't get as proper of a cook or a bake. So you have to slow down the oven if you got so many in there. It's a science. So Quiznos is actually kind of difficult in that sense. I was never really good at Chipotle. I would have fun there, and I could do stuff, but I wasn't quick at anything. It was not quick at all. No. And I always hated it. I've told you guys this before. I always freaking hated it when somebody would come in there, be like, hey, you got to sell Diet Coke, right? I'd be like, yeah, we fucking sell Diet Coke. Okay. I want a burrito with double meat. Okay. Rice, and then they'll be like, they get like everything on there. And they're like, can you actually put another scoop of meat on there? And be like, dude, motherfucker. They're like, you can just use 2 tortillas if you need to. And I'm like, dude, this is like a fucking football. How the fuck are you going to eat it? And then there's a few times where I tried to roll it, and I'm like, this is dumb. It made me so mad that I couldn't actually make it work. So I'd always have one of the ladies that was really good at it, like Maria. She would come over there, and it's funny because she had smaller hands than me, but she would just perfectly roll it. And then we'd just be like sitting there watching the guy. And it's like, why? Why would you eat that? You don't just get another fucking burrito. It's disgusting. It's like falling apart. Like, no matter what you do, if you shove so much in there, the tortilla is only so big. Even if you put 2 tortillas around it, it's too big for the contents. Just get another one. How about this? Get rid of the tortilla. Get a fucking bowl. There you go. Then you don't feel like this dipshit trying to shove a giant horse cock in your mouth that is otherwise known as a Chipotle burrito. My goodness, folks. That stuff just drove us nuts. Like, what are you doing? Then it would always be people like that are the people that complain. And we've talked about this before because it's always a center of debate when it comes to individuals that are talking about how much a portion should be for a Chipotle burrito. The problem is there's not consistency across the board when it comes to the company. But when the last location I worked at was on 120th and Washington and Thornton, and we were really trying to crack down on portion control, because when you do inventory and all this stuff, you realize, okay, it looks like we're over portioning. We never were under portioning, right? We were giving too much. So then when we would do a correct amount, people would flip their fucking lids. That's not enough. You're trying to rip me off. Fuck goddamn corporations. Chipotle, you evil doers. I ain't going to pay for more. You're going to give me more. Like, people are fucking assholes about it. Be like, dude, these guys have been cutting you a goddamn deal. And guess what? These people are going to lose their job if they don't start doing it correctly. So, fuck you. This is how the burrito's going to be made. Oh, my God. I hated people when they would do that shit. Just drove me goddamn nuts. It's like, what are you doing? You don't fucking know. You've been getting a deal. You spoiled little brat. Guess what? Now we're doing it the right way. So eat a bag of dicks, okay? And enjoy your burrito. My goodness. People are always like that. It was only at Chipotle that we had that, because I worked at Quiznos, I worked at Subway, and Jamba Juice. All those were set. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you put stuff on. The only thing at Subway, I had some guy threatened to beat the shit out of me because his girlfriend wanted the entire container of olives on the sandwich. And I said she could have it if she paid for it. And then she went home, stomped her feet, and her boyfriend came back and tried to beat the shit out of me. But anyway, like with Chipotle, the way it works is everything is portioned. It's not very obvious what the portion is. And I've explained how they could correct that, but that's just on them. Since they use the spoons, that's their problem. They need to change up how they what their utensils are, and then they could correct the problem. But people would always be complaining about that. It was always in regards to the meat. And what's funny is when I make burritos at home, I love making burritos. Burritos are my thing. I love burritos. I love a good sandwich. And yeah, that's those, and pizza. Those are my three things, and burgers. Okay. And tacos. Okay. I like food. But I noticed that, man, like, you don't really need a lot of meat in there as long as the meat is seasoned properly. You don't need a ton of fucking meat in a burrito for it to taste delicious. So I'm like sitting there going, like, I've made burritos with a ton of meat in it, and then made a burrito with a lot less meat in there, but enough that, you're getting it every single bite. And I'm like, I'd prefer it that way. And I'm getting a lot of other ingredients in there too, and it's still fucking good. Basically, what I'm saying is people are fucking bitches when it comes to Chipotle. And they cause a big stink about it. They're like, oh, I need my extra meat. Yeah, that's what your wife said. Oh, bing, bing, bing. Oh, I'm saying you got a little wiener, sir.
Right, as always.
You just got banged.
Yeah, Tina. Yeah, Tina. You just got banged. People, I don't miss, like, part of me kind of misses working in the restaurant industry, but then I go back and I start thinking about all that comes with it. You're constantly saying,
I'm broke as shit.
right? You don't make a lot, especially when you first start out, unless you go to California. But then guess what? You're probably not going to have a job soon. But you're always dealing with annoying people. People are trying to rip you off. There's so much that you have to deal with that. Customers making shit up. I always tell you about that lady that had a long blonde hair in her burrito bowl. She ate like 3/4 of the bowl. Comes over to me and she's like, you need to make me a new one and give me a refund. And I look at it and it's a long blonde hair. I look at her, then I look at my staff. Then I look back at her, excuse me. And I say, you know what? I'm a nice guy. I'll make you a new burrito bowl. I'm not giving you your money back because you have long blonde hair. None of my staff, because at the time, none of my staff were females, and they were all Hispanic with buzzed heads. It was the middle of summer. I'm like, I'll make you a new one. Making it to go. You're not welcome back. Guess what she didn't do? She didn't try to report me to corporate. She didn't try to do anything like that because she got fucking caught. I remember all the racist people that would come in, especially to Chipotle. Oh, I couldn't stand that. Oh my God. I had never experienced it as a white male, never really experienced racism. And then you start working at a Mexican restaurant and you got these white fucks coming in there with their little spoiled ass children. And they start going, hey, do you understand what I said? I want a burrito. God dang it, man. Maybe you should go back to your own country. Stuff like that. And I remember seeing the sadness in the lady's eyes because she didn't do anything fucking wrong. And nobody deserves to be talked to like that. And he's like the son, who was like a teenager at the time, and the dad were talking down to her. I come over and I'm just like, did I hear what I thought I heard? And they continue. And I was like, you know what? No, we're not making your food. Get out. Why? And then I said something to the effect of, you're being racist. You're being disrespectful. You're a pile of shit. Get out of the store. You can't do that. I was like, yeah, I fucking can, you racist piece of shit. And like, I remember seeing her eyes like she was so sad. Like she spoke English. English was her second language, but she's a brilliant young woman and she knew what he was saying. And she's just looking at me like, why is he being like this? I don't get it. Like, I'm like, get out of here. You and your son, get the hell out. You're not welcome back. You should be ashamed of yourself. Something to that effect. And then I want to say the dad said something about her, better check her documents or something. I just can't stand that. People are scummy. And if you have to deal with that on a regular basis, I don't know how you do it. Don't know how you do it. And that's like, I go back to working in a restaurant and you deal with a lot of scummy people like that. There's a lot of great people. Let's be honest. That's a small percentage is the bad people. But there's a lot of great people that you interact with, people that come in on a regular basis. That was always nice. Hey, real quick, let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
Sorry, I kind of got serious there, and I apologize. Let's talk about wieners. Wiener. Sorry. No, okay, there we go. Back on track. This comes in from Jason. Jason says, hey, have you gone to Casa Bonita yet? I have not, but I did see, Jason, where they opened up the doors to reservations. It's no longer the invite only where you put your name into an email hopper thing and then they email you back and say, hey, you got, 3 months in order to, make a reservation that way. Now it's just you go to the website and you make a reservation. I want to say the first day that they were open, they had like 50,000 people go to the website. I'm not really interested in Casa Bonita anymore. I'll go eventually when they lower the prices. I can't get over how expensive it is. I know a lot of people push back on me for that. They're like, dude, you're paying for the experience and the shitty food. And speaking of the food, everybody I've talked to says the same thing. The food's okay. It's a little better. Sure. That's not a ringing endorsement. I have not heard one person say Casa Bonita's food, oh, chef's kiss. It's phenomenal. No, they're like, it's okay. It's a little better. Yeah. Okay. Not making me want to go spend 150 some fucking bucks to take my family over to Casa Bonita to see a bunch of cliff divers. Maybe for the sopapillas, because the sopapillas are legit. But it's just not worth my time. I don't want to go. As much as I want to go, I don't want to go. I want to go just so I can officially give it an honest review, not jiggling the Matt Stone and Trey Parker's balls. Listen, I want to be honest about it. I want to be honest to you guys about it. but I'm not willing to spend the money. And you guys know me, I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I don't want to be after, I go there and I'm like, well, and I get the bill and basically it's like, you just spent this amount of money. And I'm like, fuck. And then in small print, it says,
You just got banged.
you just got banged. Oh, fuck. Not Adam Carolla said, did you see this? And he sent a TikTok of a woman who put laxatives in her food to catch a coworker stealing her lunch. And she documented it. The one coworker kept running to the bathroom. She was the only person going to the bathroom during the shift. And some people are like, oh, you can't do that. That's messed up. You know what else is messed up? Stealing other people's food. And when you steal other people's things, you got to be able to sit there and deal with the potential, consequences. What could technically happen? You can get in a lot of trouble. Okay. Big shocker. You ate somebody else's food and you got sick? I have no sympathy for that. This didn't come in on the mailbag, but I saw it yesterday. I was cutting up sound for Mile High Sports. You got to follow them on social media. They do a fantastic job. A lot of interesting shows on their platform. But I'm cutting up Deion Sanders' press conference from yesterday. And Matt Smith, who does a lot of work for 104.3 The Fan, is a very recognizable voice. He asked Deion an innocent question. Certainly not the worst question at a press conference, because let's be honest, if you've ever listened to a press conference before, there's a lot of dumb fucking questions. And he asked what I thought was a innocent question.
Hey, Coach, with potential rain in the forecast for Saturday.
We got rain? What
That's-
forecast you got?
Just changed this morning.
No, let me see. I don't have, it ain't say rain on mine. Who do you use? Straight up.
I just saw it from a local meteorologist this morning.
There you go.
A meteorologist?
That's a mistake. I got 5169. This joker's been accurate. Anybody else read yours?
Either way, let's just say there is rain on the.
No,
in the
we're not going to
forecast.
say there is rain. I'm one of those good weather man. When you say 60%, I say 40%. 40% chance that
A
it ain't.
meteorologist that I respect highly said that there's a pretty
What
good chance
does
it
yours
rains
say?
on Saturday.
Okay. I don't know which one I got. I need to check mine. Rain does not.
I was just going to ask if you do wet ball drills or anything different to prepare for that.
Yeah, with rain, 30% is 30, 70% it won't. Let's do drills that say it won't rain. How is that prominent, like a wet ball drill? Yeah, I mean, we've done every type of thing. You got to understand, we got a bunch of people who know football. We're going to do everything we can to put our guys in the best situation possible. That may come after practice, that may come before practice, but we're not going to take time out in practice to do a drill based on something that may not happen. 30% of rain. Good Lord. We don't want no rain. 70% it ain't.
Here's my thing with that. Sometimes I listen to Deion and I respect the shit out of him. I listen to that and it's just him being a fucking dick. Right? I know that he projects himself as this great human being. And I think there's a lot of times that he does show himself as a great human being. He didn't need to act like that. What a fucking dick thing to do. Just, last I checked, it wasn't going to rain. You know what? We're probably not going to, because it doesn't seem like it's that high of a probability that it's going to rain. And listen, we got a lot of guys on this coaching staff that know how to handle it, but I don't think we're going to be doing that. We don't think it's necessary. Boom, there you go. I get that he's fucking irritated with the media and the constant critiques, but dude, come on, that's just you being a dick. Listen, I get it, and he brings it up every single press conference. He always takes a shot at the media because of the critiques that we give him. But here's a good example of why we do critique you, because you come off like an asshole. And like I posted this on several platforms. Brandon said, "I don't know who's more annoying." Oh, well, I'm not going to do that. That's a political one. Fuck you. Fuck you, Brandon. David said, "Bro, answer the question and move the hell on." Exactly. It's like, fuck, man. And then Duran responded, "Ask a joke question and get a joke answer. Why would you ever ask such an airhead question?" Is it really an airhead question? It's not an airhead question. It's an honest thing. The CU Buffs are struggling. Yes, they're 2-1. They are. But now they're going into conference play against Baylor. And if there's an element that is added to this equation, and it's just like, listen, have you ever handled wet balls, slippery balls? It's kind of a thing. Now, that being said, I looked at the forecast. I think it's changed again. It doesn't look like it's going to rain. It looks like that's actually going to hold over until Sunday, and the Buffs will miss that. I feel like it's just rain can be a big fucking deal. And part of me goes, fuck, I hope it fucking pours. And I hope that there's slippery balls all over the fucking place. The way I look at it, I'm not a head coach, never have been. But I've been around sports a long fucking time in the media, covering the media. And you get to know a lot of the quirks of different coaches. I don't see what the big deal would be in it. Now, that being said, looking at the forecast, it doesn't look like it's going to fucking rain. So I don't see why they would. But if it was going to rain, if the percentage was 70%, whatever it's going to rain or whatever the fuck that means, if there's a high likelihood that it's going to rain, then you fucking should practice it. You should prepare for it just in fucking case. Get these guys used to it. Running backs and receivers and quarterbacks. Play with some wet balls. See how it feels when you're trying to catch it. I don't think that it's that dumb of a question. I just like Deion projects himself as this holier than thou man of God, and then he sits there and he belittles people for in my mind an innocent question. If it's going to be wet, do you guys prepare for that or not? Yes or no? No, we don't. We think these guys will be good on that. Okay. Gabe wrote, "I hope it rains the entire game." David wrote, "I liked Coach Sanders at first, but now he just likes to argue with the media all the time." It's true. And like I said, as somebody that is cutting up the sound on a regular basis, he does. He takes shots at him all the time. That being said, the media is not innocent in this interaction. The media will come out, some of them, like, who was that? Kessler guy, Sean Kessler, I believe it was coming out and giving bold opinions about him, and now he's banned from asking questions at the press conferences. And the thing is, there's other individuals that take shots at Deion and the kids on a regular basis, and that's why he's combative like that. But I got to be honest too. There's a lot of ball cradling going on in those press conferences from individuals, people that are afraid to stand up to Deion and actually ask him questions that are going to generate some sort of controversy, some sort of reaction. A lot of them are afraid. They're cradling his balls. And what's that get you? Your BFFs with Deion Sanders. I guess that if that's your goal, that's your goal. It's just that if that's your thing, that's your thing. Sean wrote, note for y'all, percent of rain means for your area. It is going to rain. 100%, the percentage that the weather report gives you means that there's a chance it's going to rain in your area, but it's definitely going to rain. But it, okay, means that there's a chance it's going to rain in your area, but it's definitely going to rain somewhere in the region. Yeah, that doesn't help me. Rich said he's lost me as a fan. Annoying dude. Robert said the arrogance is so prevalent at every interview, makes it hard to root for him. He continues to try and make a mockery out of the media, who are simply trying to do their job. Deion wants to be a comedian, but he is not funny. He's trying to be a comedian. He's also trying to be a victim in every single press conference. I'm right there with you. I think there's elements of what he does that are great. He says that he wants to build men, great human beings, but then it's just like then you project yourself like this at a press conference over an innocent question, and you're just without officially saying the guy's a moron. He's saying you can't trust meteorologists. Listen, we all get it. But where do you think those apps get their information from? Meteorologists. So, oh, Deion, man, I want to be on your side, but it's just you're just coming off like a fucking dick. I just, yeah, Mark said, why not just say yes? We do that after practice. I don't know. It's just, I got hundreds of people commenting on this, and it's the questions these days so crazy. I don't understand why you think that's a crazy question. I think it's fair. I think it's fair when you think about what the media's job is. It's to project information to the viewers, the listeners, the fans out there. Hey, there's going to be rain this weekend, possibly. Do you guys prepare for that at all? Because fans are worried that the team might not be prepared for that. Yeah, we might soak down a ball or two every, just to so they can, feel that. That's better than just being like, no, if there's like a 70% chance of rain, we're saying it's 30% chance of it not raining, is what he's saying. Like, come on, man. Come on. Deion, I want to be on your side, but you sound like a fucking dick. Am I wrong on that? Do you guys disagree with me? That's fine if you do. You can hit me up, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or you can get me on socials @DeHuffPodcast. He's just coming off like an asshole. I really want to support Deion. But when you come on, when in my mind is a simple question, and I'm thinking of it as like, maybe I'm an preparer, over prepper type of thing with things. Like I just want to know, be like, how can we handle it? But that being said, they're limited on time. The kids are going to college. They're going to class. I guarantee they're going to every single fucking class, ace and everything too. They got to deal with that. They got to deal with practice on what they know is going to happen. Plus, by the way, they're taking on Baylor, and they're not sure which quarterback they're going to have to deal with back there. They got two different styles, which Deion addressed. Be like, we're preparing for both. So there's a lot going on. So to say that there might be rain is adding something to their plate of, fuck, man, I don't know if we have time to be practicing for that. I get that. I understand why they don't want to prepare for it, but I don't think it's such a foolish question. Okay. I don't think it's as foolish as he thinks. If 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 all week we've been experiencing heavy rains in the area and it looks like it's going to continue through the weekend, yeah, then definitely that would be definitely not an ignorant question. But I still don't think it's ignorant. But whatever. You guys let me know. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up on my socials, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. Big thanks to Jason as well as Not Adam Carolla for interacting with the show. You can do the same thing with those handles that I just gave you. Thank you guys for supporting the show. You guys are amazing. Went a little long today. That's what she has never said. Thanks for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Share it with your friends. Give it a nice review, all that good stuff. Big thanks to Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. And if you want to support the show and be an advertiser so we can get the good word out on your company, your small business, go ahead and hit me up, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. I'll tell you about my half rates and how you can get the message out about your great company. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.